In this video, we're going to transfer our GPX files to a GPS. We start by plugging in the GPS, USB connection. And it automatically opens Garmin Express on my computer. Garmin Express is always running in the background. Garmin Express is happy. We're up to date. We have the latest maps and the latest firmware version. So we can close that window. And you can see in File Manager, we have the zumo 590 device, and it has internal storage and it has a memory card. If we look at internal storage, you can see there's a GPX folder, and it has a few files in it. We could copy our GPX files here, but since we do have the memory card, we're going to use the memory card. On your memory card, you have to create a Garmin folder, and that's done by you right-click on the screen, and you select New Folder, and you can make a folder. You just type in Garmin. Once you've created the Garmin folder, you go inside the Garmin folder and you create another folder called GPX. And that is the folder that we want to use to transfer our GPX files. So we'll move this over a little bit. And I have another File Manager window open. And you can see now, since this is a Garmin 590 GPS, it's one of the newer models that uses trip planner, so we're going to use the TP version of our route file, and we can just click on it and drag it into the other window, and there it is. We've got it copied over, okay? At this point, we can unplug the USB cable, and we can right-click on the memory card, and it's not offering an option to eject the SD card. So we can go down and click on the Safely Remove Hardware button, and you can see it does not show the Garmin device. So the Garmin GPS is ready to unplug. So we unplug it and it turns off. So the next thing we're going to do is power up Garmin GPS on its own. And we can look in apps. You can go to Trip Planner and you can see there are no saved trips. We can import, and there are the two routes. See, we just have those two. I'll just say select all. We can hit the import button, and they recalculated very quickly, and they have been saved. So now they are ready to use. The other thing that I can do, let's get out of Trip Planner for a moment. Remember, we created tracks, so we can use tracks as a reference, and we have to import those separately. So we will select those and import those, and there they are. You can see on the screen we have a green line. We have a little tool icon here, and we can, I've got the first one. So I'm going to check it to show on the map. If you wanted to change the color, that's in this selection here. We don't need to do that. We're done with editing our saved track, and we can go out of here. So let's load the route. Go to Trip Planner. And you can see we have our starting point, and we have our second starting point, and then we have, all of these are shaping points that do not alert. And then at 37 miles, it's going to alert and tell us how far we are into the route. At 75 miles, it will alert us that there's a gas stop. And there's another point 2 miles after gas. Then there's another gas stop at 110 miles, which is just before lunch. So if we hit go, you can see it's defaulting to BB Lunch Part 1 Start 2. That's because on these trip planner GPSs, it always defaults to the second alerting point. You can see if I scroll up here, there's the actual physical start of the route. So that's why we always have 2 starting points. We have the first physical one, and then we have a second one that's just a little ways down the road. So when someone loads it and they're not paying attention to what it's proposing to start from, it doesn't start 37 miles into the route and just auto route you to there. So that's a very important thing. And you can see these points that are shown on this screen are the only ones where you can select a point and you can reload the route when you're partway through the route and select a point to start from. These are the only points on this route that you can start from. So we can say BB Lunch. There is our route, and we just hit start. This is simulating driving the route. So we'll get out of that. We'll stop our route. So that demonstrates how we can import and run a route from the computer to the GPS.